All right. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to SOMO at Home for July 22nd. My name is Kayla Hull, and our session today is on the science of happiness and well-being with Dawn Jones. So before we get started, I wanted to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's program. P&G Manufacturing, Simmons PLM, P&G Paper Products, Kirksville Motor Company, Hy-Vee of St. Joseph, Sertoma Club of St. Joseph, General Mills, J.W. Terrell, and Concrete Strategies. All right, take it away, Dawn.
Great, thank you. So great to join you all. I'm excited to share a little bit about a course that I took. It's the Science of Wellbeing with Dr. Lori Santos. I'm going to share my screen with you all. Let me get that set up. Oops, that's not the screen I wanted to share. Let's see. Or maybe I do. Hold on a second. I got to get there. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Is that better? Okay, I am Dawn Jones, and I work in Lee Summit. I coach Lee Summit Special Olympics. And when the pandemic started, I took a course called The Science of Wellbeing. It's all put on by Dr. Lori Santos out of Yale University, and it's on Coursera, and it's for free. That was the best part about it, was that it was free, and we could do it during the pandemic and learn something while we were stuck at home. So I thought I'd try to give you guys some of the information that I learned, but I highly recommend taking the course. Because we all want to be happy, but how? How do you do that, and how do you even know how to focus on that, especially in these times? Dr. Santos's class focuses on things that get in the way of our being happy or make us think that we're not happy when we really are. So I thought I'd break it down a little bit and just present a few pieces of her theory and her research. But again, I highly recommend taking the 10-week free course. Free, it made me really happy, on Coursera. So let's get started. A little bit about when you talk, it's not very concrete when we think about if somebody says, "Are you happy?" Are you happy today? I'm happy today. It's different by the day, and it's different at different times, and but we kind of don't think about what impacts that, or if it's just the time you're in, are you happy, or the time you're not being happy, is that something you should even think about. So happiness does impact our well-being. It's how we judge where we are, who we are, what's going on at our time. Sometimes if you're not really thinking about it, you might think about I'm always unhappy, but did you really stop to think, am I really unhappy? There are tests to measure it. It was nice because the course includes links to go and measure your happiness, and kind of gives you a baseline to think about, am I happy or not? And it kind of helps you walk through that. And then after taking the course, they also have you test it again to see if you now, after doing some stuff that they tell you to do, maybe you're actually happier than you thought you were. And as we talked about before, happiness does increase and decrease, as feelings of elation with events and new experiences. You say, I'm so happy right now. But what the course kind of focuses on, and what we kind of want you to stop and think about, is day to day in general, what's your baseline happiness, no matter what happens, because it can help with your well-being to know that even though we're going through like a tough time right now, or even though as an athlete you didn't win the race, can you still be happy? Can you still be, that bummed me out, but now I'm okay. I got through it and I'm happy. I'm still happy. So the course kind of talks about stuff like that. It's not just the general day-to-day happy here, happy there. We want you to, in general, be happy, no matter what happens. One of the tough things is we live in a society, I found this, and it says we live in a society where we're told that the only way to be happy is to do more, have more, be more, and that's not true. It isn't all about more, more, more. Sometimes it's about less, 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 or sometimes it's about stopping to just, enjoy what you already have, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and hopefully help you find some ways to break out of this being told how to be happy, what to be happy about, and thinking that more is better. Dr. Santos uses a term that I really, it hit home with me, and that is miswanting. And that keeps us from being happy. Miswanting is the act of thinking about all the things that we think are going to make us happy. And then and you're choosing those things based on different stuff. But then that focusing on what we think we want and not able to think on the things that truly would make us happy. Things that we tend to miswant are things like a new car, a new job, a thinner body, less wrinkles in my face, more money, the gold medal. And we think, once I get that, then I'm going to be happy. And then again, like we talked about, somebody else is telling you what those things are. Are you really thinking about what I want? But I just keep getting told what I think I want. So then what happens? You keep miswanting and you keep going after the next thing and going after something else that you really didn't think about, and you get it, and then you're still not happy, right? At least not consistently. So some of the things that happen that cause the miswanting are things like comparisons. That steals away from your happiness and causes you to miswant. Comparisons to what others have or what they do leads us to miswant, because you're using the comparison. You're comparing your stuff or your life to theirs. And again, you think, if I just get what they have, then I'll be happy. But you're not choosing the things you want based on what you really want. You're choosing it based on that comparison. And then we kind of postpone our happiness as we look for it in the wrong place. We keep, again, once I get that, then I'll be happy. But I'm not going to be happy right now. I'll be happy when I get it. But we also choose what we want, not based on our desire, but on the desire to have what we're told to want. So again, some people think they want so much money that then they work and work and work and work, and then they're never really happy. They have a bunch of money, but then it didn't make them happy. Or I really wanted to do that big trip that I saw everybody else wanted to do. I wanted to do it because it looked like it was fun, but what I really wanted to do was not take a big trip, and that would have made me happy. We're not basing our wants on the things we choose for ourselves. So think about advertising or nudges. They're nudging you in a direction to get you to do something, or to get you to think a certain way. So you think about advertising, they say, oh, buy this new car and it's going to make you happier. Be thinner, then you'll be happier. Get rid of those wrinkles on your face, Dawn. That's when you'll be happy. These are all things that we are told will make us happy. But do we really want those things? Do I really want to spend all that money on wrinkle cream and then not have money to do something that was really going to make me happy? And is it really what's going to make us happy? Do I care about the wrinkles on my face? Really not that much. So, but you have to really think about getting yourself to stop and think, what is it that I really want to do that's truly going to make me happy, not just chasing those things down. I think I covered everything. I'm just talking now. The next thing that happens that Dr. Santos talked about in her class was adaptation. Adaptation distracts us from overall happiness, because what happens in adaptation is we become comfortable with all those good things that make us happy, and then we want more of it, or we want something different. It's things like, think of something you wanted that you really wanted, like you picked it. I like to pick, Dr. Santos she teaches at Yale, and she uses Yale. She's like, kids who got into Yale, or the university that you want to go to, or the house you want to live in, or that Special Olympics event that you really, like World Games, something you wanted to get, and you get it, and you're so happy. You think about it, yes, I did it, I got it, I'm so excited, I'm happy. And then you adapt to it. You got it, you lived it, you live in it. Maybe it's that new house, maybe you're driving that new car. Do you get up every day and go, yes, I'm so happy again today because I have a new car. I'm happy again today because I went to World Games. I'm happy again today because I got a gold medal last weekend. We tend to just adapt, and that really happy thing happened, but now it kind of plateaued off, and we adapt to it. And now we go, well, I did it, but now I need something else to make me happy again. So we don't wake up every day to that to being happy to that thing that we got. Sometimes we're used to having it. Sometimes it's a house or a car or something else we had to take care of, and now it causes us money to fix it, and now we're really not, it's almost making us unhappy to have it. So we really have to think about what we want to have to make us happy, and once we adapt to it, can we stop and be, we'll talk about that, can we stop and be happy again to have it? I hope that makes sense. If anybody's on here and wants to ask questions, they can. But so adaptation is one thing that then distracts us. We adapt to everything we get, and then the next thing we want more. Same thing goes with making money. You got that raise, and now you want more. And now you're not happy till you get the next raise and the next raise. So if you're never happy at each level, you're never happy no matter how much money you're making. Dr. Santos does a great job explaining that, and there's science behind it. There's a full study that talks about that really there's a level of pay where it levels off. Once you get paid more, it really doesn't increase your happiness. So that is truth. I found this, well, I didn't find this. This was part of Dr. Santos's. And if you're interested in reading an article about the state of miswanting, this is a really good one. It's "If we are so rich, why aren't we happy?" It's a full article. If you Google it, and it'll pull this article up for you. But seriously, if we're so rich, why aren't we just so happy? We all live in a great country. We're all pretty, have lots of opportunity and whatnot, and yet we still seem unhappy. So it's a good article for that. I don't want to go over it for you, but it is a good article. So how can we avoid miswanting? How can we want better and not more? I like this. I need to pin this up in my office. How to want better and not more. We have to stop to think what comparisons and I should have put adaptations in there. How are we comparing and adapting? What do I do to make those, and how do I get those? Where did I get my adaptation or my comparisons? Am I seeing on Facebook? Are you getting on Facebook and seeing what everybody else has and what they want and what they're doing, and then comparing yourself and saying, well, now I'm unhappy because I was happy earlier, but I got on Facebook and now I'm like, oh, ugh. Stop doing that. No comparisons. Are you getting it from advertising? You see all those people on TV are having fun because they bought the right kind of soda, and I need to do that. No, we don't want to get our comparisons from soda commercials. We don't even want to be comparing. Are you connected to people who try to tell you what to like and what to do and how it should be done, when really you'd be happier? One of my best examples of this is sometimes I'm really happy to sit and read a book. That's what I'd rather be doing than maybe going out to dinner and having to talk to a bunch of people. Even though I love doing that sometimes I'd rather be happy reading a book. So if you're happy reading a book, then that's what you should be doing. If you're happy going to dinner with a group of friends, that's what you should do. But some people decide they're going to do what people think they should do, and they're really not happy doing that. So are the people you're connected to supporting you in the choices and helping you find what you want? And then how do I decide what I will do? Do you compare to decide what I just talked about? How do you decide if you're going to stay home and read a book? Are you feeling pressure to go out and then you're not happy to be out? You should stop and think about that. Do I think more of something is better? You got to stop and think about, do I think going out more would be better? Do I think that making more money would be better? Those kinds of things. Just a few things to think about. There's a lot of science behind how people think and how we're able to be nudged and coerced into doing things we may not want to do. And that really affects your well-being and your happiness. So our next step is to find some ways to stop the miswanting. Excuse me. There's ways to focus your mind to stop the miswanting. Dr. Santos likes to call things that retrain our brain, she calls them rewirements, which I really liked. Because it's like a wiring in your brain. Instead of just saying you're going to change yourself, you're actually going to just kind of rewire stuff. It's there, but you got to kind of get there. And it's literally, we want to rewire the reactions of your brain. It sounds a little complicated, but there are a few ways to rewire your brain to focus on happiness and stop some of the miswanting. The few that I'm going to cover, there's kind of more, and you can probably think of more, is to savor things, gratitude, and social connection. We're going to start with savoring, I think. Yeah, I put a picture on this one, try to make it a little nicer. We have to say stop. When you're trying to savor, stop. Take time to be in the moments of your life. There's ways to do this. I don't know about you all, but I sometimes take too many pictures, especially of my daughter, which I'm trying to savor all her moments and the things she's doing. Sometimes we get ourselves behind that camera and take too many pictures, but take a picture so you can look back on it and savor it. But also, when you're taking too many pictures, you're not in the moment and savoring right then. So savoring is an action you have to really stop and make yourself do, to really stop and enjoy that moment. Stop thinking about what you're going to do next. Don't think about mistakes or anything you did in the past. It's time to be in this moment and savor what you're doing, especially if it's something fun, so that you'll be able to remember it. So take a picture. You can write it down. Some people like to write it in their calendar or in a journal to remember, hey, today I went and looked at these beautiful purple and yellow flowers and I really enjoyed it. And we're not talking about savoring big things. These can be things that are moments in every day. Part of rewiring your brain is finding something to savor each day. That's a practice that you can use to change your thinking, so that every day you have something that you're savoring and thinking that you're happy about. So write it down, or actually say it out loud. What is it that you're enjoying? I'm enjoying this time right now here talking to people with Special Olympics, and I'm so excited and I'm enjoying it. I'm not thinking about, oh, when I'm done with this, I can't wait to do this, or, oh, I wish I'd have prepared better. Nope, I'm enjoying this time right now and telling you all out loud that I'm savoring this moment and this time. So savor is one way to stop your miswanting, so that you'll actually be thinking about your happiness every day instead of all that other stuff. Gratitude. Oh, I didn't put a picture on here. Sorry. Stop and take time each day to reflect on what you're thankful for. This is just a little different than savor, because savor actually wants you to kind of pick a moment in the day to be in the moment and be present and enjoy it. Whereas gratitude is more like a time each day to say, hey, I'm good. Here's what I'm thankful for today. And it may not be something, today may have been a horrible day. Today may have been like full of bad news and something, but you can say, hey, you know what? I'm still thankful that I have a home to go to. And I'm still thankful that I have good friends. It's been a bad day, but wow, how thankful am I to have good friends helping me through it. So be thankful for it. Stop each day and write it down. If you're not good, about writing, you like to draw it. Some people like to draw things they really love, and say it out loud to yourself or a friend. Say, hey, today I'm thankful for. I tended to also do, a quick prayer, or say, thank you, Lord, for everything I have, or just to stop and go, oh, I am so thankful, because not every day is hard. So gratitude is another way you can do it each day to get you back focused on your happiness. Social connection and kind acts is another way. You move the focus off of yourself and connect with someone else through a kind act, or a random act of kindness, or words. There's science behind this. Dr. Santos does talk about, there's actually science. People actually measured their happiness before and after doing kind acts. Some involved money, some didn't. And everybody rated themselves happier after helping someone else, or even just interacting with somebody else in a kind way. So kind words and compliments every day will help you feel happier. Doing random acts of kindness, reaching out to spend time or a video chat with a friend is another way. Once you connect with them, you'll find that just being with them gives them something, and you get something out of it too. And then really listening to another person, really taking time to stop and go, today my social connection is to just listen to somebody else, and you're giving them something that they needed. So that actually boosts happiness a lot. The social connection and kind acts, if you're that kind of person, that's really going to help you move forward and being happy about something other than all those missed wants that we have. I'm trying to see where I'm at. Oh, I think I'm at the end. The biggest thing right before, I don't know if anybody was on here to have questions, but I have a little bit here about more things you can look into Dr. Santos's work on happiness. But one of the things they do in the course, if you take it, is when we talk about rewirements, the savoring and the gratitude and social connection, she has you pick one. So here's what I would challenge you with here at the end, is to kind of think about what we've talked about a little bit, and then stop and pick one of those, just one. You can savor, or gratitude, or social connection, or anything else that you can think of that kind of falls in those, and do it every day. She has us do it for 4 weeks. At the end of the course, we did it for 4 weeks. I had to keep a little log and make sure I did it every day. And I have to say that when you actually focus on that every day, it really does bring to light that, even when it was a hard day, that I could look at that and savor and spend time in these moments that have been tough during the pandemic, that there were lots of things to be happy about. And in the end, my basic happiness was right there at the forefront. It wasn't I'm sad, I'm happy. Even though when things come up, we can be happy. So check out our free Science of Wellbeing course on Coursera. There's Happiness Lab podcasts if you do those. I got to be honest, I don't do podcasts a lot, but I've heard these are really good, and they cover lots of different things on happiness. And then it's the Happiness Lab Classroom on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, you want to jump over to the Happiness Lab Classroom. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there, and some of it points back to the well-being course. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and be happy. Thank you.